Hello everybody, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Woo! I think that looks better that way. As you guys saw by the title, we'll be doing a kind of review. I'll be showing you the new e.l.f. Back to school makeup kit. If you guys don't know, e.l.f. every back to school season, they come out with like a bundle that you could buy for, you know, those back to school days. So we're going to be applying it. We're going to be talking about it, what I think, is it worth it? And then what I would get instead or in addition to. So, that is it for, oh, wow. It's been a long morning. So, first, if you guys like this video, definitely give it a big thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button, and without further ado, let's just get started. My coffee is here. I swear I'm drinking it. All right, first things first. So this kit costs $28. You get 6 full-size products. There are no samples. Everything is full-size. And the retail value is $40. So you're saving quite a bit of money. You're saving like $12. You're getting a couple products for free, which is awesome. A lot of the products that I noticed are in here are definitely, a couple of them are definitely current hyped products that people are loving, you know, you can't go wrong with. So, it makes sense. A couple of them are just little additions that I think that they want to round out the kind of collection here without making it customizable. So last year, actually, they did kind of a similar thing. It was completely different products, and they actually let you choose your shades for certain things. So like they had the putty bronzer, putty blush, but you could pick which shades you got. And then I think they had a couple other things where you could pick your shade as well. So that's really, really nice. I think they might have had the e.l.f. Camo Concealer in there or something like that as well. So you could pick your shade. It wasn't like you got what you got and you didn't get upset. You get what you get and you don't get upset. It wasn't like that. So this year they actually do have the putty blush in it as well. They only give you the shade Tahiti though. I don't have that one here. I just have the shade Bali. This is my personal shade. I didn't buy the whole kit because I had all the products already, just so you guys know. But that's one thing that's a little bit, unless Tahiti is your perfect shade, it's probably a selling shade, so that's probably why they threw it in there. But for me, I wouldn't want that shade. I want this shade, so that's one thing just to keep in mind. All right, let's jump in though. First things first, we have the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. This is another one that I'm not upset. This is one that I'm not obsessed with. I had it back and forth in my collection though, because people love it, and I'm like, okay, maybe I'm using it wrong. Like, what am I doing? Like, try it again. So I definitely will just keep it in my collection until, I either use it up for some reason or it goes bad. Honestly, it's probably what's going to happen first. Or sometimes my sisters come over and they're like, can I have this? I'm like, sure, just take it. So, unless that happens. But I do like it. It's not like, to me, it's nothing, it doesn't have much use for me. To me, I don't have really huge like pores or whatever, or even if I do, I just don't like, to me it's not a huge concern that I have. I'd rather have something for my dryness, and I know they have like the luminous versions, but people don't really like those, so I'm like, let me just not try, because I'm just gonna waste my money and then be stuck. So it is nice, it's not for me. So like if I'm going down to the putty primer and any other e.l.f. complexion product, I probably would take any other e.l.f. complexion product. Honestly, like the powder foundation would have been nice. The flawless brightening concealer, the e.l.f. Camo. I don't like the e.l.f. Camo concealers, but I know for me, I'd rather a concealer or like a cream complexion versus the primer. I'd like something with coverage, basically. All right, and next I actually have the next product step in the routine is the e.l.f. Putty Blush. So again, I have the shade Bali here, and there's the shade Tahiti. I'm gonna go in with this. It's actually cool. They put the e.l.f. angled blush brush in here. So I thought this was also funny. I had purchased mine because I thought I had one sometime, but then I've had these e.l.f. brushes for years and years, so mine went bad. But I thought it was interesting that they put this brush in here and not one of the e.l.f. putty applicators. So they have like 3 different e.l.f. They have the e.l.f. putty bronzer blush, the e.l.f. putty primer brush, and then the e.l.f. putty blush brush. And then they put the e.l.f. angled brush in here. And I was like, what? But I guess we'll see. I guess this should diffuse the blush like really nicely. So that's cool. These are super inexpensive. This brush is like $6. So honestly, I mean, I was like, $6? Wow, for a brush. But comparatively, like Morphe brushes are like $9, $10 each for a face brush. So it just depends. But anyway, so again, we're going with the shade Bali. They don't have any other complexion in this little guy here. So again, for that back to school, you know, it really just depends. First of all, back to school means something for so many people. I'm not even going back to school, and I thought this video would be nice and fun and fresh. So, for those of you actually going back to school, you know, maybe this is the most realistic. I didn't even wear makeup to school. Like 90% of my school, I didn't wear makeup, except for college, but I mean in high school. So, you know, it really just depends. If you're someone who just wants something quick and easy, then this is a great little set for you, because, you know, if you're someone who deals with large pores, that poreless primer will you know, fill in your large pores right here in this area where you're putting the blush, where you're drawing attention. So it makes perfect sense. It's just, you know, not for everyone, and that's okay. The putty brushes are viral for a reason. They're really, really good, and, you know, they blend out really nicely. The color pigmentation they have is really nice. So, you know, this is what, you know, my cheeks are naturally go a little red right here, especially if, like, when I get a little warm or, like, if I'm moving too much. And then now they have, like, this, I have this pink, natural pink flush, and then this red blush. I'm like, okay, I'd rather, like, you know, have some coverage. Oh my gosh, wow, that looks terrible. I'd want to have some coverage to cover that up, and then I'd add this blush on top. I didn't even think about that. I honestly don't like this brush for this blush either. Okay. Abort mission. Hold on. I struggle with uneven skin tone and, like, patchiness and stuff like that on my natural skin. And so I'm like, this blush, I thought, like, maybe it would just, like, I don't know, cover it. I thought maybe this was a good idea, but it's not. Okay. Again, it might work for some of you, young people's skin, high school skin, maybe. Okay, that looks fine for now. We're just gonna go ahead and move on. My blush too is also pretty old, so it's not as creamy as it was when I bought it. So there's also that, but it's okay. Next we have the No Brow Products. And next they have the e.l.f. No Budge Retractable Liner in the shade Black. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put this in my waterline. These are really nice, honestly. They're super, super creamy. I don't think they're as no budge as some of the other products that I have, the other eyeliners I have, but it's really, really nice, and I think that it really does the job. It's very, very black, and it really just makes your eyes dramatic, but it's not, it doesn't tug or pull. It, like, glides across your waterline, and that's really nice, especially if it's something you're using, especially if that's something you're using, like, all the time, you know? Alright, and then next we're going to go with the e.l.f. Lash Beats Defining and Lengthening Mascara. Again, I'm glad they put a mascara in here, because honestly I would have been like, oh, absolutely not. If they did not have a mascara in here. And this is honestly one of e.l.f.'s best mascaras. I definitely think that the last two they released, which I think is the purple one, which is Big Mood, that's what it's called. And then this one, those two are their their best mascaras. I think they could do better, but you know, if you're gonna grab a mascara from e.l.f., it should be either this one or the other one, because this one has, like, fibers to it that makes your lashes so long. I think this is honestly the perfect one for school, though, because it's not, like, overly dramatic, but it gives you a little something something, which I like. Oh my gosh, I just got it everywhere. This is why we don't talk and do these things. It gives you a little vroom, 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 without being too much. These are my worst lashes, so these are my better lashes. You guys will be able to see a little bit better. But it just makes you look pretty. You look like a girly, like, you know, that like kind of vibe. And so I like that. I think this is there. Again, this mascara is probably like $6 or $7, which is good. But like my sister, she came with me. She's like, do you know any good mascaras? And I was like, do I know any good mascaras? So we were at Target, and I went down and I was like, okay, this one is my favorite, which was the one I mentioned. And then I was like, but, you know, like, all the rest of them are looking like $10. These are the only ones that were like kind of $7-ish, but I was still like, you know, they're okay. Like, they might not work for you. So it really just depends on your preferences and what you like in a mascara. For sure, for sure. You guys can see it's just a pretty mascara. It's nothing, again, too like false lash looking or anything like that. It's just pretty. It gets the job done. And it's nothing like, you know, people aren't going to be like, oh my gosh, is she wearing like all that makeup here? You know what I mean? The vibe is definitely there as well, but I just mean for the mascara specifically, they're not going to be like, oh my gosh, you know? It's very, very nice. You know, I would curl my lashes before I did this anyway, so they would add a little bit more for me, my personal, but again, it's up to you. All right, next we're actually going to go with the e.l.f. Ride or Die Lip Balm. So this is the shade Tough Cookie. I had the shade Mighty Mint somewhere, and that's the one that comes in the kit. I just don't know where the freak it is, and I definitely don't... I had to check. I don't think I used it up, because those are like crazy full, and this will smell good. And I liked it, but I didn't like love them, so there's no way that I used it up like on my own, you know, just because I wanted to, you know, so that's nuts. I don't remember, but I couldn't find it, but these are nice. People have definitely have a hate-love relationship with it because they're so thick. Like, they are really hard to get out of here sometimes, and then they're not the creamiest, and then it doesn't have a lip, and then so you have to put on your fingers. Like, I do think people have their gripes with them, but I think it is really nice for school because it's kind of a lip balm. First of all, the tinted ones are really nice, but the clear one is a lip balm, but it's a little bit glossier and a little bit thicker, so it lasts a little bit longer on your lips, so you're not constantly having to reapply. So it is a little bit nicer that they're a little thicker. All right, so here is technically the finished look. I do like it. I think it's pretty. I think it is nice for school if you're just looking for the very simple schoolgirl kind of look. If you don't really care about the minor details of certain things, like the blush, you know, showing like my skin underneath it, or, you know, there's no brow product, that kind of thing. If you don't mind, then I think it's a great deal. I also know, like, obviously, you know, if we're going down the line of things that I would add, first I'd probably add the e.l.f. Wow Brow. This is really nice. It's super simple. It's only like $6 or something like that. So if you're placing the order for all the other products, you could just add this to it. It adds these fibers in your hair that are in your brows that are just, you know, really nice. They look really natural, but they get the job done, and then they don't like fade throughout the day. It stays like that all day, without being too crunchy or too anything. Like, you just see the difference here. My brows look like a little bit more done, but they're not super like crazy, you know, like soap brows. They do have an option for soap brows as well, which I do like. My sister uses that one every day, and I gave it to her, so I used that one, and then she was like, I want this, and I was like, okay, that's fine. And she uses it every day, way more than I would have got use out of it, but I do like it. So there is an option if you're looking for that, you know, more trendy kind of brow. So that's nice as well. I think that, you know, obviously you could just go ahead and add a brow product to your order, you know, and then use some points, or like sometimes they give free gifts, so it really just depends. But I would definitely first and foremost add a brow product. I think that would be my first order of business. Second order of business is I would add some sort of complexion. So this is the e.l.f. Flawless Brightening Concealer. I'm not going to put it on today because it'll be a little weird, and then the shade is really light for me, but I would add some sort of complexion, you know, like whether it be for you the powder foundation or the e.l.f. Camo concealers, or they have like a BB cream, they have so many options. And then this one's my number one, but they have so many options for everyone that I would go ahead and add some sort of complexion, even if you're just like concealing a little bit, like of a few spots here and there. This one is more for brightening, so if you get a shade closer to your skin tone, it'll be a little bit nicer. It'll be a little less look at my blemishes versus, you know, I'm covering them up, because that does have nice coverage. But again, if you want something with a lot more coverage, they have plenty of options. I would add something just to cover up certain spots on my face that, like, I'm like, I don't particularly live for that. I also don't mind the e.l.f. Poreless Primer the way it looks on my face. I think it is nice because it's not like glowy or illuminating or anything that draws too much attention to you. It kind of just makes your skin a little bit more even. So that's nice. But I would add, like, you know, more of a complexion product on top. So those would be the first two I add. Let me try to think, what else did I have here? Oh, and then the last thing that I would probably add if I wanted to, and that's, I would just have this on hand just in case, are at least one of the e.l.f. bite-sized eyeshadow palettes. So I like the shade I Love You Latte, because I could just throw one of these in my crease, one in my outer corner, and then call it a day. If I want to go fancy, I'll put like a cream shade on the lid to lighten up the look, but that's it. You could just add one color in the crease, which this is so nice because it has like plenty of neutral options. These are like $3-4. I also have Cream and Sugar. This one has shimmers, so I would, like, you know, probably mix these two in the crease and then just put a shimmer in like the inner corner, call it a day. Or you could combine, you know, again, they're only $3, so you can combine both of these eyeshadows, which I typically do when I use them. But one of the best ones is definitely Pumpkin Pie. I've had this one for a long time. Oh my gosh. And like, again, crease, you know, lid, outer corner, like you have a whole vibe in here. And so that's really nice as well if you're looking for something a little bit more dramatic. I would like to have one of these just on hand. I think it's cool too because even the darker brown shades you can use in your brows. So it's like, you know, if you don't want the brow gel or something like that, or you're trying to, you know, maximize your money, these can be used as brow pomades. They also have a little brow set, a little brow kit that is so it's like, it has like 2 creams in it and 2 powders, which they're like brown, so you could get your shade, but then you can also use that for eyeshadow and brow. So if you're trying to, again, maximize your money and not spend so much, although it's not like expensive, if you're still just trying to spend like, you know, $40, you know, so there are ways to get a few products, extra products for cheaper is what my point is. So those are kind of the things that I would add, you know, as far as doing my makeup every day goes. If you're looking at some just bestsellers from e.l.f., I think that there are plenty of other options as well. Like if you're looking for the bronzer, the putty bronzer is amazing. They obviously just probably didn't add it because it's not like a necessity, which it's true, like you don't necessarily need it, especially if you're not really doing complexion, but I think it's really, really nice. So if you want that, go for it. And then I also really love their powders. So I might add some powder blush because I need a little help here. But this is they're the primer infused blush and bronzer. So I have the shade Perpetually Tan for the bronzer and then Always Rosy for the blush. I really, really like these. They're blendable, they're smooth, they really last all day, which is really nice. And I think that, you know, even if, wow, I feel like they probably put the putty blushes because obviously that's what's going around now, but I think that the powder blushes do the kind of the same thing where they just give you that nice color that lasts all day, and you can just use a pinch or, you know, a whole bunch like I'm going ham with. So it really does depend, but I really like these as well. These are only $6, so you cannot go wrong, honestly. I think if you wanted to build your own kit, you're like, you know, kind of not your own kit, but you wanted to buy your individual products, but you're not a cream girl or whatever the case is, their powders are amazing as well. So don't sleep on those, and they're super inexpensive. All right, and then the last two I just wanted to mention quick. It's the e.l.f., obviously e.l.f. It's the Bite Size Face Duo in the shade Spiced Apple. I really like this color. I like this blush. I don't use the highlighter, but if you're someone who wants to use a highlighter, you can go for it. But the blush shade is really similar to this one. It's a little bit more neutral, a little bit toned down, but it's so beautiful, especially for the fall season as well. These are so pretty, and if you can find a bundle that both of them work for you, honestly, you can use this as eyeshadow and this as like a shimmer eyeshadow. Like, you know, you can use it in your own way, and these again are only $3, so they have plenty of options as well. So I think that these are really good to look into too, especially if you're looking for a way to kind of get more products for cheap, you know, cheaper. All right, and then last but not least, the e.l.f. Love Triangle Lip Filler Liner. I need to use this way more. It does have a huge like triangle tip, but e.l.f.'s lip liner formula is so good. I have the shade Mauve. I'll just add a little bit so you guys can see. I like a lip liner if I'm gonna wear like a lip color. If I'm just gonna wear like a clear lip gloss, you typically wear a lip liner. But these are really nice if you're someone who like wears a lip liner every day, or you want to have one for like, you know, just for like when you want to spice it up a little bit. These are really nice as well. They don't move. They're huge. The tip is huge, honestly. So it's really like, you know, it's to each their own. There are some other cheap ones that are not a giant triangle, so it just depends on what you're looking for. But these are good if you're placing an order, or like if they offer it as a free gift. I would try that. They do like, sometimes it's like $25. Spend $25, get like 3 free gifts. So it's amazing, honestly. Definitely like don't miss the opportunity to get something for free. This is what I'm trying to say. I'm just gonna blend out some of this because wow. So all in all, I feel like I kind of just didn't say whether I think it's worth it. I definitely think it's worth it to the actual like young high school student. I think that'll be worth it when your skin is like, I don't even know. I feel like in high school you're dealing with acne. So I don't know, but if your skin is like pretty clear and even, and like, you know, you just want this like really nice natural look, then I think the kit is worth it. It's only 28 bucks. Can't go wrong. If you know you're going to like the blush shade also, because Tahiti is the only shade that they offer in that. So if all those things kind of align, then the kit is perfect for you. If any one of those things don't align, I think just, you know, skip the kit and get other products. If you feel like there are things that you could get in addition to the kit, like if you like the products in the kit but you want to add a little more, go for it. I think that there are so many products that you could just add in addition to it that won't break the bank as well. So that's really cool. And then again, if you're someone who just like, you know, like, okay, well, I don't like the Poreless Play Primer and I also don't like the shade Tahiti, don't get the kit. You don't need it. It's not a 10 out of 10 worth it. It's just kind of like, at that point, it's like, just get your own products, you'll be fine. And again, I have $10 off rewards like all the time. And I don't even place orders that often. They just like, when you place an order, they accumulate, and then I like use like my $10 off, and then I just for some reason have like $3 more off, like something like that. So definitely make sure you're signed up. This is not like sponsored or anything like that, but make sure you're signed up so you can save your coin. And then again, you have so many free gifts at so many different points in time for so many different reasons. So my nails look, oh my gosh, hideous, but I can't do that, but I can't do them right now. Anyway, that is it for this video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was useful to somebody out there. Let me know, are you picking up the kit? Are you getting some other e.l.f. products? I know so many people are doing e.l.f. videos right now, and I think it's just because of the e.l.f. Halo Glow thing that just came out. I honestly forgot to mention that. That's a nice like primer too. It doesn't add coverage, but it's a nice like glowy primer if you're looking for something glowy. It's just obviously everyone and their mom's talking about it right now, so do I really need to talk about it? All right, I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.